Hello everyone, Reed here, and I'd like to talk about a movie that's coming out next week. Before I begin, I want to give a disclaimer. I've probably put a text disclaimer already, but if you're listening to this or you don't know how to read, etc., this is just to let you know that I am not telling you to go watch this movie. It is rated R. It has a lot of language, violence, drug references, although not actual drug use, which we see in the trailers. But yes, it is going to be very raunchy, inappropriate. It is not made for children. I personally, I'm not even going to watch it unedited because that's what I want to do. If you feel okay with watching it, by all means watch it. If you don't, that's okay. But this is the only R rated film that I've ever been excited for. And yes, I have seen other R rated films, but it's like The Matrix or Psycho from the 60s. Like, they shouldn't be rated R. They're not even close. And I have seen some edited rated R films, but without further ado, let's dive into Deadpool and Wolverine. So, to start off, there is a film theory that from the Film Theorists, a great channel. If you haven't watched their stuff, I recommend it. Like, that entire community is just great. Really fun, really enjoyable. I don't agree with all of their theories, but they're fun to think about, you know? And with film theory, they have a theory about the Justice League film by Zack Snyder, which is also rated R, one of the few R-rated films I've seen unedited. But that film had a lot of issues when they first made it as a PG-13 production, and then Zack Snyder took charge again. There's a lot of history. I'm not going to go into it, but he took charge again, and Film Theory made a video about how it literally could not fail. And I feel like Deadpool and Wolverine is similar in a lot of ways. The biggest one being is that the MCU is kind of at a low point right now. Like, personally, I love the MCU. Look at my t-shirt. But it's just that some of their projects haven't been as good as some others, and a lot of people, a lot of casual fans of the MCU have lost hope. I'm a hardcore fan of the MCU, so I'm going to watch whatever they put out, whether it's good or not. Like She-Hulk. Anyways, yeah. So I want to talk about some ways that I think we are almost guaranteed that Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be a good film. So let's dive into it. The first way I think is going to do great is with the box office. For those of you who don't know, the box office is the movie tickets that they get. There might be some other things involved. I'm not really sure. I'm not a film expert. But from my understanding, if the box office numbers are high, like they sold a lot of tickets, they made very good money, typically the film was really good and very well received. And one way to get high box office numbers is by having a lot of hype. And Deadpool and Wolverine has the highest amount of hype I have seen since No Way Home, like 3 years ago. I mean, I guess Barbie and Oppenheimer got close too, but like Wolverine is being played by Hugh Jackman again, even though 7 years ago he said he was done. Like, it's going to be a big film, and like it's the MCU's first R-rated film. A lot of people will be drawn in by that. And then the first Deadpool films were a big hit. So just between the two, like all those things, it's going to be a huge success with the box office. Like, I can almost guarantee that. Like, so Passion of the Christ is debatably one of the biggest R-rated films out there. I haven't seen it personally, but Like, Deadpool makes references to it, so that's why I've included it here. But as a reference, it made $612 million. Logan made $7 million more. Deadpool was over 100 million, like over 170, no, 163 million more. Deadpool 2 was only 3 million more than Deadpool 1. And No Way Home, which has the same hype level as Deadpool and Wolverine, made like 30 more million dollars for than Deadpool 2. So it'll be interesting to see how it does. Personally, I don't think that Deadpool and Wolverine will break $1 billion. And yes, that is a billion with a B. But I think 850 million is probably a good estimate to where they're going to get. Like, it'll have a lot of fans from that love the Fox Marvel movies as well as the MCU, like people who only sided on one. The biggest drawback is that is rated R. And so a lot of families and things that go to the MCU aren't going to watch it in theaters like me. I'm probably not going to watch it until it comes out on Disney+. If it's just language and violence that's the issue, and inappropriate jokes, I might just watch it, but I can't say for sure when I will or if I will. But there's a good chance I'll watch it edited when it comes onto Disney+. Alright, I think it will do great with the critics and the audience, like with reviews and everything. And here's some statistics, well, some data I want to show you. So Sean Levy, who directs Deadpool and Wolverine, his biggest movies are like Night at the Museum, Free Guy, The Adam Project. So Night at the Museum is his lowest film that I know about, and I disagree with those reviews personally. Like, it's not an amazing film, it's not groundbreaking, but it's good, it's fun, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than the sequels to it, actually. Like, I put that score on the third film, not the first two. But anyways, Free Guy did amazing when it came to reviews. Like 94% for audience is pretty darn good. Same with 80%. Like, it's not the best we could get, but it's pretty good. Then the Adam Project, I actually really enjoyed it. There's some plot holes and some issues, but it's a good film. And yeah, critics and audiences have agreed on that one. And 68%, while not great, it's not bad by any means. So take it for what you will, but the directing style, I think, is going to be really good for this movie. Now, with the other R-rated X-Men, which, once you know it, have the same characters as Deadpool and Wolverine. So Deadpool 1 did 85% and 90. Deadpool 2, 84 and 85. Once Upon a Deadpool is the PG-13 version of Deadpool 2, so I guess it's not R-rated, but it's in the same thing. And that only got 56. I disagree. I felt like it was really fun. I've seen it. I watched it unedited. I can't recommend it. It's a pretty fun film. It's there are some parts that kind of take you out of the movie because they try to do a Princess Bride joke with it, but honestly, it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. Logan, man, I watched that movie edited, so didn't have the language, etc. But it is a phenomenal movie. Highly recommend Logan. Like, if you're okay with R-rated material, you need to watch Logan. It is a good film. It is very slow compared to most superhero films, but I'm okay with that. They focus on making it a good movie than just, oh, let's fight and smash and do all these different crazy things. And it is really fun. Highly enjoyed it. It's got a great emotional tone. It's just a really, really good movie. And I suspect Deadpool, well, not suspect, it's been reported that Deadpool and Wolverine has a similar emotional vibe to Logan. And so, like, it's not going to be the exact same story or anything, but it's going to have similar emotions evoked in it. And I'm really excited to see how it does with the critics and audiences. If I had to guess, I'd say it'll be no lower than 84% and probably no higher than 93. If I'm being realistic, because that's the range for X-Men films, and we know that Sean Levy has made films that belong in that category, like Free Guy. And he's made a lot of other films, but I didn't have the time to look them all up. But, yeah, I think it'll be very well received by critics and audiences. The fan part of me is really hoping it'll get close to 98%. I don't think it'll get to 100. It could, but I highly doubt it. But I think it'll do really well with audiences, so we'll see how that plays out. Alright, last but not least, it will be a success because it has to be, and this is what I want to talk about. So, box office is a good benchmark. Reviews with critics and audiences is another good benchmark. But Marvel Studios needs a win right now. Like, Echo wasn't really that good. That's their last live-action project, which is rated TVMA, believe it or not. But it wasn't that good. The Marvels wasn't well received. Like, a lot of their more recent stuff hasn't been as well received as other things. I'm not saying that all of Marvel Phase 4 and Phase 5 has sucked. Like, Spider-Man No Way Home, excellent film. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, excellent film. Moon Knight, great series. So they've got a lot of good things that they've done, but they've got a lot of things like Eternals, She-Hulk, Echo. Even Hawkeye wasn't as well received as I thought it was. Like, I enjoyed Hawkeye. I thought it was fun. But a lot of people didn't like it. And so, it's been very controversial recently, and they need a movie like Guardians Volume 3 or No Way Home that everybody can rally behind. Because now we're going to get Agatha all along and Captain America Brave New World within the next year for their live-action projects. Their animated projects is a different thing. It's handled by a different team, so I'm not including that at all in my assessment of Marvel Studios right now. But as far as their live-action projects go, it's been a little rocky recently. But I really hope Deadpool and Wolverine will help flip things around, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because they need a win. Just like the Justice League with Zack Snyder helming it need to be good for Warner Brothers to continue going with the DC universe and characters. We need Deadpool and Wolverine to be good in order for Marvel Studios to continue to progress and do even better. And from the sounds of it, they're going to dial back how many things they release a year, which is fine by me. Like, we're only getting Deadpool and Wolverine in 2024. I'm okay with that. And we've got Echo and Agatha all along this year, as well as some animated projects. But it's dialed down a lot more than what we've had the past couple of years. And I think that will be a good game changer for them. I think Marvel Studios is on a good path. I think Deadpool and Wolverine will really set the tone of what we're going to get in the future, and whether or not it's going to be well received or not. But it might be really well received. I think it will. I highly doubt it will fail. Like, there's too much writing on it. They've also been working on it for years. There's a lot of things going into it. that make me doubt it will be a bad film. Like, at the very least, it will be decent. But the trailers alone make me really excited. Now, no, the trailers have a lot of language and blood and things, so if you're not comfortable with that, don't watch it. But the trailers are making me hyped, and I don't watch R-rated films, like, hardly ever. And if I do watch them, they're almost always edited. So I've never watched one in the theaters. This is the only one I've actually ever considered. Like, I didn't even consider watching the first two Deadpool films, or Logan. Now, I kind of wish I had, but that's a different thing. But anyways, I love how they're bringing in the Fox X-Men. I'm really excited to see what they've got going, and I hope it'll do well. All right. Remember to lend a hand to those who need it. Bye.